12:47 a.m., Sunday the 13th of Ashiodari. A little bit more sober now, just as angry, mostly tired. I decided not to translate the text. The book says that the cost is part of my soul, and I did promise Geist that he gets first dibs back on the rooftop. Kind of. Speaking of, it seems like he's choosing to be alone tonight. Maybe I miss... Nope, that is not the point of these notes. Back to the book. There was a lot in the early chapters of this book. The biggest point being that ignorance and apathy do not equate happiness and safety. It takes action and danger to bring about understanding and, quote-unquote, good. If I wish to have the future I so dream of, I need to make it happen. I just need to be careful to keep love and understanding at the forefront of my motivations, and not be like Dracula in the story and turn to vengeance and control. Easy enough, right? I think I shall start today.
Geist, you find this note tucked in the book in Nyx's room. Gregory, you're there as well with her body. When Geist originally stepped through the shadow travel portal, he only said, or only thought to Valor, I suppose, "Take me home. This is where you appeared. This is what you found."
Apologies, Gregory. I thought to give us some privacy for a moment, but it seems I'm not in my current right state of mind. Here, let's put her in the bed. Let's put her in her bed. Help me, please.
Yeah, be comfortable right now.
This is... I'm sorry, Gregory. I don't exactly know how much time we're going to have this conversation between you and I, but I want to make several things clear. A mistake was made tonight, and I am going to do everything in my power to prevent this from ever happening again. Gregory, you have not known me long, but I need your assistance. And he has not taken his hand off the blankets, resting on the bed, resting atop Nyx the entire time he's having this conversation with you, Gregory.
Gregory, similarly, after he set Nyx down, he's put his hands on the bed frame he's been holding on. Anything. They took my best friend. I'll do whatever you need.
When his eyes come up from the body laying in the bed, there is undoubtedly a flame within them that is both metaphorical and quite literal. Gregory, good. I was hoping you would be agreeable to this course of action.
We can't let them get away with this. They've taken others, but not this one.
I'm going to kill all of them, Gregory. All of them.
I can't wait to see it. It's what they deserve.
But first, we need more time. And I do not think this is something that we are going to be afforded. I have a plan. It's a little bit uncouth, but I think it's the best... course of action if we wish to bring her back. Are you with me?
Bring her back?
I made a mistake tonight, Gregory. I believed patience was required. I believed trust was required, Gregory. She once told me that sometimes you have to wait for decades for things to bloom, for things to go the right way. What has patience and waiting done for any of us, Gregory? If there is something that you want, you must seize it and take it for yourself. Something was taken from us, and I wish to take it back.
I do too. Bring her back. Just so we can bring her back or take her back. I don't... Whatever it is, Geist, I'm on your side.
We're going to need some assistance. There's a book here. We must find it. As we have the book propped open now with the letter that we've retrieved here from this place, he sits it on the table here in this space, and he begins to flip through this, seemingly looking if there's some type of assistance, some type of guidance, something that this book, it's made out of human flesh. There has to be something that is going to be able to aid us in resurrecting, revivifying, bringing something or someone back. But it's so challenging to decode. This is not something you can do in a single sitting. This is pointless, Gregory. We need more time. How long until you think they bury her?
No, I mean, we can tell them hold off. We can do something with her body. I mean, who knows that we're here other than us, other than the people we were with? I don't think it's a matter of how long until they bury her. It's a matter of how long until her body starts to go bad and she can't come back.
One problem at a time, Gregory. I think I have a plan. Regardless of when they plan to do the funeral rites, we can't let them take the body. I must keep it. We must keep it.
Where? What do we do with it? We need to... You can't keep it just out here. We need to put
I have favors I can call in with the local temples. I believe I have something of a plan. But for now, I need to ensure that what is being buried, what is receiving the appropriate funeral rites is not her. And he's going to begin to go through the process of summoning Crow.
Wait, you're not gonna put him in there?
It's only temporary, Gregory. We can dismiss him once it is done.
Jeez, I know, it just makes me feel funny still.
Gregory, I want to trust you, and I want to bring you along with this, with me. We have to leave those feelings behind us for what we are about to do.
I'm with you, and I trust you. But, you have to talk these things out with me. This is a whole new world for me still.
Fine.
I'm on your side, but you have to talk to me.
Geist begins to go through the plan that he's been hatching over the past 30 minutes. It is half-baked, it is uncooked, it is messy, and it is full of more emotion than he is trying to let you know, Gregory, as he's attempting to explain something what he thinks is logical. And he tells you that he's going to summon Crow. He's going to make Crow look like Nyx. We're going to send Crow as Nyx to the funeral. I'm then going to call in a favor with the priestess of Pakash, and I'm going to become a bodyguard at the temple so I can keep a new location hidden below the temple in the Undercroft. We're going to find a way to preserve Nyx's body. And by the time what they believe to be Nyx's body has been taken away, done away with, appropriately righted, however so they tend to do, we will have already dismissed Crow, and we will have bought ourselves time to find support to figure out how to bring her back.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time. There's no room for error in this, really. We've got to make all of our moves and make them right. But I think it can work.
I'm glad you agree with me, Gregory. And Geist is going to go through the process of bringing Crow forward, catching Crow up to the plan, and making sure that whenever the switch needs to be made, we are good to go and ready to go. And I think a big part of this is trying to get Nyx's body ready to move and wrapping Crow in this body up in something. I don't think anyone's going to question as to why Nyx's body needs to be veiled or covered or wrapped in something. That's going to be something easy to explain away, but having it done and taken care of ahead of time so that we can be like, hey, we've done the sensitive stuff. Now, please, let's just move on with the funeral rites. But we've already made the switcheroo, and we have the body somewhere secondary. And if that means keeping it temporarily at the Whispering Winds, so be it. But off-site and off-grounds.
The challenge will be the duration of normal duplicate, because if you wrap Crow up now, and funeral ceremonies don't happen for another even 12 hours, then, the timing is an issue here, because you've got an 8-hour window. Or really inhumane treatment of Crow.
Which I right now, it's not off the table, but with Gregory's assistance, beginning the process of summoning Crow in a permanent way. So if that means that we need to keep this safe locked up, temporarily guarded for the next 24 hours, then we can make Crow permanent for this exchange. Which brings on a whole slew of other problems, but that is the next best plan.
Right. You are in Rhonda's rendezvous. News of what has transpired has probably not spread far and fast yet. It's probably more or less contained to the cobbler's cause. But there would be people here who have seen cobbler funerals before who might be able to give you some amount of insight into what to expect, or otherwise give you intelligence that might help you with your plans.
If you'll allow us to field some casual questions, and if we need to essentially be delaying this for as long as possible, we can always shadow travel to another location and be bringing the, quote, body at a later time, which will help us in delaying the timeline. So essentially, I think we can appropriately hide the body for long enough and be bringing something that's already wrapped up to the actual funeral. And if they want to argue with that, I think we can put on a show of force if necessary.
I think framed in those terms, it will not be terribly difficult. I would like a charisma check from both of you just to determine how detailed the information is that you gather.
Any relevant skills?
Yeah, would you allow a savoir-faire for like fitting in, making this a casual conversation?
Yes.
Deceiving or persuading?
I feel like deceiving and persuading are equally applicable here.
Wait, we're looking at the 26.
As a 12 for Geist.
Gregory, despite any normal nerves and uncertainty that you might feel in broaching conversation with Ruby and getting information out of her, you're able to pretty easily say, hey, we lost some people at the Cobbler's Cause. I want to be as helpful as I can. You're able to, in a roundabout way, find information about the funeral. So typically cobbler funerals happen pretty quickly, usually within a day, because benefit of being a geographically close-knit family, everyone can get there very quickly. Gregory would also know that even if he hasn't met them, that Nyx's parents would be in Dirge, so you can assume within the next 24 hours the ceremony will be prepared.
We've only got about 24 hours. That's usually about the timeline for cobblers' funerals. There is another potential issue of Nyx's parents, and I feel like they would want to, as is their right, to see their daughter before she gets buried. And Crow is not their daughter.
You raise a good point, Gregory, and it's unfortunate that that's just not part of my plan.
I hadn't considered that, unfortunately. I don't know how to get around that one.
I believe by simply saying no.
I can't do that.
Then allow me.
Gregory is speechless. He knows how he has to be in this situation, but he just can't imagine that kind of callousness. You're more cut out for this than I am, Geist. That's not easy.
I think it's quite clear that whatever flame is lit within his eyes has yet to fade this entire conversation, Gregory.
That's keeping Gregory going, because he is going through the hopefulness of the plan you told him to hopelessness, from the detail to hopefulness again, so your enthusiasm and the flame that you have in you is propelling him to want to keep going as well.
Gregory, can I count on you to ensure that we have enough time for this to be successful? I can take her body to the Whispering Winds. I can ensure that it is somewhere safe, somewhere it is protected, somewhere it is not available for viewing until the last minute. I need you to buy me time.
Do what I can.
That's all I can ask. Thank you, Gregory.
Thank you, Geist. He'll put a hand on your shoulder and then just immediately pull you in for a hug.
I think the close contact and the hug, which unfortunately you wouldn't be able to see, would be the first time that something is broken through whatever this demeanor is, as there's tears welling up in the corners of his eyes. But it is a temporary chink in the armor, and he would pull away. Gregory, see if there's anything we need here in the space. Anything that she wouldn't want found when individuals come looking. We can have that moved as well. I imagine we have enough time. Here, I'll help you. And Geist is immediately going into a very cold calculating, let's see if there's things that need to be moved or removed from this space, things that Nyx wouldn't want other people to find. It's not a ransacking, but it is a little bit removed of the emotional side of care. This is a necessity. This is not kindness.
It's not reminiscing about a shared experience with an item. This was meaningful, we'll sequester it, right?
Yeah.
Could I get a luck check from Gregory just to see how much he knows about which specific items would be meaningful to Nyx?
It's a 14.
I mean, you know that she loved books, loved reading, loved escapism in particular through books. And there was a children's book that she brought up a couple times in conversation, but you can't quite remember what it was. There's a handful of children's books on her shelf, as well as a couple journals of her personal life on the shelf as well. And then, teen fantasy novels, adult fantasy novels, various stages of reading comprehension, all of which have a theme of escaping to a different world.
There was this children's book really meant a lot to her. Was the yellow? No, the wonderful. No, the what was it? A colorful.
Gregory, if you can't remember which one it was, I'll take them all.
Okay, yeah, here, take her journals too.
He's essentially putting everything in a pile next to where he's planning to open the portal so he can just kick everything through, sending it to the shop with him.
Yeah, leaving behind the less sentimental novels, you're able to amass a pile that is easy enough to carry, and you're able to generate the next portal and arrive at the Whispering Winds. Where would you appear within the Whispering Winds? I feel like you have fine control over your own establishment.
Well, fine control, but I think that's where he thought he was going the first time. And whenever he had essentially asked to take me someplace safe, take me home, and had accidentally wound up in Nyx's bedroom instead, I think there was some intentional thought put into where he was arriving. So yes, it would be his bedroom, his place that he has above the shop, Gregory in tow, if they so wish to join. And if you'll allow it, I like to imagine that an opening so close and nearby to the bed that in bringing the body, it can go from bed to bed, rather than there having to be some level of uncomfort or just dumping or throwing or kicking around. That's the only thing that is receiving care in this moment.
Yeah, that's certainly doable. As Nyx's body is laid to rest on your bed, Geist, you would hear a crinkling like paper from underneath her corpse.
Crinkling like paper, as if there's like newspaper in my bed, or there's something on Nyx's body.
Like there was something on your bed.
There's a very gentle lifting up at the mid-back and trying to feel what is beneath Nyx's body.
It pretty quickly becomes apparent there's two things. You feel the dusty texture of paper, and you also feel something like a plushie.
I firmly grasp it and rip it out of the bed. This is shocking news to me, I think.
It is a plushie of Geist. It's unmistakable.
I think I am speechless for a mechanical 10 seconds. Gregory, please do me the favor of stepping downstairs as quickly as you possibly can.
Do I see the mini Geist?
I'm just holding a plushie of myself in front of me. I have Nyx's body still held up with my left arm, and my right arm is holding a plushie of me.
Well, what's that? I kind of want one. That's kind of cool.
I assure you, you do not want one of these, Gregory.
Oh, it all connected to Gregory now. Is that the puppet? Gregory goes downstairs.
I think Geist immediately gets into a defensive stance. He lays Nyx's body back down, and he begins looking at the dimly lit corners of the room, waiting for someone else to be here.
You do see a little bit of disturbance in that it looks like someone walked up into the room. You see the corner of your rug is scrunched up a little bit, but you don't see anyone in this room. You don't see any brimstone residue on your wall. It doesn't look like, besides the fresh Valor brimstone, right? It doesn't appear that anyone else bamfed directly into your room.
Okay. I think after maybe a couple of minutes waiting for some dramatic entrance, some opportunity to dangle some future dread over Geist, he would call Gregory back up. Gregory, was a false alarm. You can come back upstairs if you're still here. I apologize.
As soon as you heard his feet get to the bottom of the stairs, you hear them like clomp and turn around, then come back upstairs. Okay, well, that's good. Oh, what now?
What now, indeed? It seems impossible to actually be in charge of one's own decision-making capabilities here. It seems everywhere is compromised.
Just to be sure that you didn't miss this, Roger, there was a note along with the doll.
Yeah. The concept being that a doll, a note, yeah, he can read it here casually, but his real concern was there's literally nowhere safe to go. There's nowhere to go that you can't be reached, and the message spoke louder than anything he can read on this. And at this point, if Gregory wants to be all in on this plan, Geist has no problem reading this note aloud while Gregory's here.
I'm all ears.
I think Geist reads it once, mentally reading through it, and then goes back a second time and reads this aloud, audibly and fully so that Gregory can hear this. Ventus, my friend, you did well, but you didn't kill Aria. Seems you went soft. And how did that serve you? As his hand grips on both sides of the letter, I can tell that you need time. So accept this gift. Live your life. No, I'm not breathing down your neck. You'll find me when you're ready. And he passes it over towards Gregory. And you can clearly see that the last line is written in blood as well.
Ventus. Is your name Ventus?
He probably mockingly at a certain point in this evening gestures as if he's tipping a hat to you. It is not a kind gesture, but it is one of antagonized grief.
So, was this from Noir?
Don Noir, my previous captor, and the individual that offered me a deal, one that I turned down.
What was the deal?
They wanted me to become a fixer from Molitor.
Fixer? Like,
A solver of problems, a hider of bodies, an individual that makes things go away, Gregory. As he casts his eyes down to Nyx's body, given the current conversation, some things work out regardless of what decision you make.
be here. What is that? I'll be here when you're ready for me. What does that mean?
In a pretty forceful way, he puts the plushie, the poppet, in your chest, as if he's trying to give it to you, offering it to you. He is growing more and more restless and more lost. Gregory, it's my understanding that I can destroy this however, whenever, wherever I would like to do so. And all power that Don Noir would have over me would be destroyed, no longer able to, any gestures, poke and prick me and cause me pain from a distance. But don't you see, Gregory, that's exactly the message that he's trying to get across. He doesn't need this. He doesn't need some puppet to be able to hurt me, to be able to control me, to be able to harm me. He knows where I'm at. He's looking mad.
What about Valor then?
Would you like to talk to him, Gregory?
Well, if you destroy this, does Valor is he still around? Guys, what the fuck is going on?
I think Guy starts rifling through some of his paper, some of his notebooks. I think he's getting to the part of his crazed spiral where having a very reasonable conversation with somebody who is asking very reasonable questions feels so unreasonable. And he's moved on to the next thing he can solve, which he doesn't know how to preserve the body. So he has to have a book somewhere in here that he's going to be able to preserve the body. So Gregory, it gets hectic, it gets chaotic, it gets wild. He goes tossing through papers, notes, files, scrolls. It looks like he's a man on a mission looking for something. And it looks like he is lost physically, emotionally, spiritually here in this space and doesn't answer your question.
Guys, I told you have to talk to me. You can't just shut me out now. Not when things have just started.
I think he spins around with great haste, and there is a shadow looming over him, and you watch as he is quite stressed. There's a strife that comes across his face, and it looks like he is trying to fight against something as he is stepping towards you, with every step falling on the wooden planks of his attic bedroom. The shadow behind him grows smaller and smaller until he is but a foot away from your face, Gregory, and he says, I just need you to trust me on this, Gregory. I need to find a way to preserve the body. I need to feel like I have control over something, and I need you, and he pokes you in the chest, and you can tell that there is something that is trying to be held back so it is not forceful, but it comes a little bit more physical than it should be, Gregory, and I need you to buy me time.
This is what I mean. Talk to me. I didn't know what you're looking for. Now I can help you find what you're looking for. Where can I start?
I imagine they'll be making their way back from the cause to Rondas. They need to be fed a different narrative of what is going on currently.
Like what?
I don't know, Gregory. That's your job.
What do we say? Arya's dead? We say we killed her? We say Nyx is alive? What?
Gregory, they saw Nyx die. They just need to understand why we are preparing the body the way that we are. Get creative. No one will question this coming from you. You two were close.
Okay, I'll think of something.
We'll cut there, back up a few hours, and zoom in on the Cobbler's Cause again, where we have Rendo and Pete and Nia, all of whom have brought Arya into their custody. She's unconscious. It will be easy to wake her up with 1 hit point just by splashing some water on her face.
Pete, before we wake her up, got a scale around here. A scale?
Scale, like for weighing yourself, or like weighing money and transactions, like little. What kind of scale do you need? I'm sure we can find something
that could weigh up to a pound.
Yes, it will be ready. You can tell that he can tell, and he'll hurry off to find something.
Rendo. Yeah. Before we deal with our friend here, I'm very worried about Selena and what she may or may not be able to feel of what we might need to do or have already done to Arya. I know that if we kill her, it will kill her. If we kill Arya, it'll kill Selena. But what do you think? Do you think Selena can feel any of it?
I don't know. We could ask. I forgot I took this. He pulls the tiny Selena out of his vest.
If we could just have that confirmation one way or the other, that would help me determine the best way to handle what needs being done.
Yeah, of course. She's all the way back at the new lease. I mean, do we have that kind of
We
time
don't have time
to...
for all of that. No, we don't. Right. I won't kill her, but I'm afraid Selena might be a little uncomfortable if she can.
I will.
To be fair, we've already sort of, and she takes Arya's face in her hands and shakes her mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best not to think about that.
Right. Well, suppose we could really wake her up whenever. Mia is going to take out her knife and start to cut bits of Arya's hair, like the tendrils, and drop it on the table. I assume she's in a chair or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different tavern areas in the Cobbler's Cause. I imagine you want her uncomfortable, so a chair would be less comfortable than a booth. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to wake her up here? Do we want to put her somewhere more contained? I don't know, I'm just having I just don't want to say, like, feels too good to be true. That's too positive. But I don't trust it. I don't trust her.
I think we need to plan the best place of containment for her before we necessarily just stick her anywhere. I don't want us to be caught off guard or have some sort of something come about and she manages to get away. We've got her here right now.
Okay.
And fuck it, Rendo, I want to hurt her.
I know you do.
Cuts another tendril off of her hair.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't.
Would you care to wake her up?
Right. I will slap her across the face. Just a quick backhanded ch.
Her eyes flutter. She's slumped in her chair. She's still at 1 hit point. She's still been through a really bad fight and come out the worst end of it. But she holds her head upright. You can tell she's looking for some dignity to hang on to. She sees the hair piled on the table in front of her, and you can see this look go through her eyes. It's like, I'm gonna have to look in a mirror later, and I'm not gonna like it. But that's a problem for later. Right now, I'm in captivity.
Oh, good. You're awake.
Ah, yes, but let's make sure you're really, really awake. Mia's gonna pull the back of her hair back so she can't be slumped back anymore. Really make sure that you are awake.
She goes to respond, and her eyes get wide as she realizes something is missing in her mouth.
We might have made a little
no.
adjustment. Don't feel too good, do it.
Probably no, it probably doesn't. Does it at all, Rendo? Mia's going to walk over to wherever the nearest bottle of, like, really, really hard but not quality liquor, like think Everclear is.
Yeah.
And come back over and it's going to just, like, semi-waterboard her, just like a little bit, just for funsies, just a little.
As a treat.
I'm sure that doesn't feel good. Yes, probably a bit of sanitization isn't... Yes.
You can see her hands clenching and unclenching into fists.
You probably think that we're a soft lot, that we just couldn't bring ourselves to killing you because we're the good guys, right? We're the cobblers, scrappy lads, just a bunch of sweet bunch. No, you see, you have taken every person that I've ever cared about. And Arya, I don't care about many people. It's not in my nature, wasn't bred to. But you managed to do that. So before we kill you, I am going to make sure that you pay the debt that is what you've taken. Now, Rendo, you are welcome to add to this ledger, but I figured it at least a pound of flesh for each one of the people that I've lost.
I'm beginning to understand now.
We don't even have to be here for it all. I'm going to make sure that the cobblers that are downstairs see to it that my at least 3 pounds are tended to. But Rendo, like I said, whatever you think is necessary.
I'm thinking At least 4 for me, for Geist, for Nyx, and for Selena.
Gosh, that's 7 pounds. It's quite
Pete
a bit.
thuds a scale down that has 1 pound on one side and just like lets the scales become uneven and lets the distance between them speak for itself.
Nia's gonna take the pile of hair that she's... And it's a good bit of hair at this point. She's gonna take it, and she's gonna put it on that side and pray that it doesn't move it an ounce.
It's hair.
Perfect.
Got a ways to go then, don't we?
To look like it.
You can see tears coming down her cheeks. She's unable to articulate anything.
Just nod or shake your head no for me. Did my mother put you up to this? And by this I mean any of it.
Her breathing slows. She arches an eyebrow and then she rolls her eyes at you.
And this time Nia's gonna take a piece of hair, and it's gonna look like she's gonna cut the tendril, but she's gonna get right up to the scalp, and she's gonna just scalp that little bit. Put it on the scale.
Moves ounce or two.
Just a nod or a head shake.
She shakes her head.
Fair enough.
There's a knock at the door, and Bill pops his head in. Oi, ooh, right. You need me for anything? You know where to find me. I like it. This is not. Good job. I prefer when they can fight back, so are you. Nia, you do have visitors. This an alright time?
No, it's not really an alright time. Who the hell is visiting me here?
And from behind Bill, you would see a halfling stick his head like around Bill's bulk. He's got a scarred face, scarred arms, his scruff. There's a cigarette like dangling out of his mouth. The sides of his head are shaved and his salt and pepper hair is slicked back. He says, "Come on, Nia, you don't have time for your old Uncle Hugo."
As I live and breathe, fucking Hugo, get your ass in here. And she's gonna take the knife and she's gonna jam it in Arya's thigh, and then she's gonna run over and hug him like best family reunion. Oh, Uncle Hugo!
Boy, I like to see what you've getting up to in my time in the pit. Oh, this is wonderful.
And Grandpa did not raise any little sad one, did he now?
No, I mean, I know it can skip a generation. I'm glad to see we're back on track and in your capable hands. What's going on here? Can I break your fingers for you?
Oh, absolutely. Come help yourself. You can cut a couple off if you'd like.
Well, we gotta take time. Break him first, get under the nails, and then you cut him off.
This is why I love this guy. Hugo, this guy.
He is wearing a prison jumpsuit. He's got gray overalls and like the black and white striped shirt underneath.
Interesting outfit you got on there.
Oh yeah, big jailbreak tonight. We're all over town now.
Right, solid, mate.
This is slowly becoming from one of the saddest to one of the better days of my life. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, most of us made it back to the various places around town. Ran into your dad. He said to avoid your mom, so did so. I know there's some stuff going on there. I didn't get much details. He said you were here. Thought to come and see what all you're up to.
Right, yes. So this one owes us, and she looks at the scale, basically 7 pounds of flesh. And at a certain point,
7 pounds.
Yeah, she's a bit of a cunt, this one. And then I would say beyond that, the next lineup on the butcher block is actually Mum. So depending on how you feel about interfamilial strife,
Right.
again, it's really
Gonna
great
want
to see you.
details before we get into any brass tacks there, but we'll see what we can sort out. I met a therapist in prison who might specialize in marriage counseling. I don't know. We'll get into it later, one problem at a time.
That's you've always been one of the more open-minded of your generation in the family, Hugo, if I may say for myself.
Well, what's she gonna do? He takes a cigarette out and burns the back of Arya's hand.
Is the knife still in her leg?
Yes.
I'm gonna walk up, grab the handle of the knife, lean in really close to her face, and twist it. I know you can nod your head and shake your head. Now that lovely little connection you've got with Selena, it can be transferred to someone else, right? Is that something you can do? Good to know. I'll twist it back.
Could I get an awareness check from Rendo?
It's an 8.
Yeah, I mean, she's being truthful. You know that under her directive, she transferred it from a bond between Prescience and Selena to one between Arya and Selena. So you know she's capable of doing that.
One thing I didn't think about, that's not something you need your tongue for, is it?
Just a slow shake of the head. Her eyes are glassy.
Very good. Is there anything else we need directly from her right now?
Does she have any, like, little bag, or did she have anything that, like, had her possessions potentially on her in some way?
Not on her in the battle. She heard the cars coming. She has, like, some accessories. She's got her hat. She probably has a little bit of jewelry on, but nothing terribly expensive. Something that's, like, flashy that shows that she's in charge without getting in the way of combat. No, stud earrings, not dangle earrings.
I'm looking for her lipstick.
Not on her person.
Pity. It's a great color. I have everything I need from her at the moment.
Yeah, we can get the particulars of that bond transfer from her later. Might be something she needs to write down.
Indeed. Are you right or left-handed?
She does not answer. She just stares back at you.
Very good. Hugo, before you go breaking any fingers, figure out which one she writes with.
Oh, right, so way ahead of you there.
This guy.
He takes the empty bottle of Everclear, slaps it on the edge of the table to make it jagged, and just makes a show of admiring the scraggly edge of it, leans down so that his face and her face are next to each other across the edges of the glass, and then just taps each of the little pokes and then sees that there's a little bead of blood on his finger and nods in satisfaction.
I do hate to be missing out on the fun, but I think we've got other places we need to be right now.
Oh, think about it like a surprise, Rendo. She looks like this now, but what will she look like when we come back?
Oh, that's devious, Nia. I like it.
Oh, it'll be a treat. I'll make sure of that.
Oh, I knew you would.
Brenda will lean in one more time. Just gonna take a good, long look at you right now, Arya. I want to remember this. It's good to see you.
She spits in your face.
Thanks. Oh, and thanks for this too. I'll hold up the little doll.
Yeah, she'll just lock eyes with you. No further emoting from her.
Right, well, see you later. Try not to have too much fun without me, will you?
Nia and Rendo, reuniting with the others, there wasn't a specific plan as to where you would meet up, because everything happened so quickly. Rhonda's is the obvious close place where you would reconvene. The New Lease is the other obvious but not as close place where you would reconvene. And it's also in Mire Depths next to an area where you now know has just had a prison break.
So maybe Rhonda's.
Yeah, so you can make your way back to Rhonda's where Gregory would be there, but I don't believe Geist is at this point.
That is correct. Geist will be staying away with Nyx's body back at the Whispering Winds, preparing everything that needs to be done for the switcheroo.
So the two of you can reconnect with Gregory, as well as a handful of the other affiliates of the Cobblers. None of the Troupies themselves would be here, but you all at least recognize Lorem the Bouncer at this point, and a couple of the dwarves might be there. We'll say Bungamet is there.
When I see them walk in, I'll go, Nia, Rendo, and I'll make my way to them and try to figure out a way to do like a double hug on them, but the heights are making it a little awkward for Gregory. He's trying to figure it out.
That's the top of my head there.
Rendo has arms up like, oh, hello, Gregory.
So glad you guys are okay.
Yeah, you too.
Where's Geist?
He's with Nyx.
He did make it out, right? Everything happened so
Yeah.
quickly. Okay.
Yeah, he's okay. I'm okay.
Are
you guys are okay?
Okay.
No, but I'm here. You're here.
I'm so sorry, Gregory. I know what a good friend she was to you.
His eyes start to well up, and she was.
She's gonna slap him.
Oh,
No crying at the gig. No crying at the gig yet. You hold that. That's for the funeral. We still have some things to do, I'm sure. But if you start crying, I will start crying. And if anybody in this room sees me crying outside of a church, Gregory, so help me, there'll be 2 funerals held this weekend. Do you understand?
Gregory leans his head back and like pinches his nose shut, and it looks like the tears are almost sucked back in to their ducts. He goes, okay. Okay.
That's impressive, actually.
I don't know when I learned I could do this. It's just a really weird thing. I don't know. Useless party trick, you know?
Right, okay. So surely there'll be some planning and some Bungamet here. I would like to ask Bungamet about wait, she's just gonna look at Rindo. I'm thinking maybe like a safe or almost like a big freezer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
I don't know how else
impenetrable.
we're going to keep it containment. I feel like is key in this instance. Pardon me. And she's just gonna excuse herself sight unseen to have a conversation with Bungamet.
Right. Okay. I'll walk up to the bar and sit down next to Gregory.
Hello there, Nia.
I don't have a lot of time because I don't want to draw too much attention to any one necessary thing. But Pete has somebody in his possession that we need you to build, or maybe you already have one in existence, some sort of containment device for the foreseeable future. Something that we can get them in and out of.
A
but that
safe
we
with air
know-
holes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I knew you'd know
Plenty
the
of
technical
them,
term
yeah.
for what it was. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
we
very good.
got oodles of them. Where do you want
Perfect.
it? I can install one in here. I mean, I assume Pete will be amenable to that.
I don't know how much moving this person will be good or the best option. It could become very messy if we try to move them.
Easy, right? You tell me the place, I'll make sure it gets done.
Deal. She will just write specifics on a napkin and give it to him. Appreciate you. You're always such a man of discretion and professionalism.
And you always articulate and ruthless as ever, Nia. Enjoy our relationship very much.
What are we talking about? She's just gonna pop up next to Gregory.
Gregory just lifts his head from a whiskey tumbler and he goes, I think the age is on this one. 3 years. 5.
I'll take a sniff. I won't say 6 actually.
6, all right. He'll motion to the bartender. 6. He wants 6 shots
Oh,
in front
that's
of him.
not that's not what I meant.
He has decided if he doesn't have to lie to people about what's happening, maybe he can get them drunk and they won't ask the questions he doesn't want them to ask.
That's why I put my best man on the job.
That's good tactic. That's a good tactic.
Yeah.
6 for Nix.
I'll have a water actually, thanks.
Yeah, after the shots. You don't have to do all 6. These aren't all for you. Splitting these up between us.
I slide them further over towards Gregory and possibly Nia.
Right, so I guess we'll be splitting these shots, Gregory.
And holding up.
Cheers. Clunk.
Cheers.
Clunk. Clunk.
Audience, I wish you could see Alex's wobble. His non-so.
He's method
tipsy-
acting right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You guys can't see is the whiskey bottle under my desk. Not really.
We'll proceed to the following day. This would be Prime Day or Monday in our world, not Amazon Day. And the Cobbler's Cause and Rhonda's would both be in a bit of a buzz as arrangements are getting made. The word is being spread. There were a lot of casualties, some of which were fatalities in the past day, 2 days. So there is a series of services. There's kind of a revolving door at the Temple of Tovere right now, which is deeply and closely affiliated with the Truby family. This is something that I think you would all notice about the Trubys specifically, is they are making sure that every person affiliated with them who did die is getting their own moment. And so I don't know if any of you would be present for any of the others, either the cobblers that have passed or the ingots that have passed, but the Trubys and Bungamet and Dural are at every one. So they're feeling a bit numb anytime you see them or speak with them. But mid-afternoon, it is Nyx's turn.
I'd like to think that Nia would have chosen to try to go to as many of the Truby and, well, just cobbler funerals as possible as sort of the, proxy for Sheldon not being around. But knowing also that Nyx's funeral would be later that day, I don't know that she would have, she might have come like midday. You know what I mean? Like she might not have been there for like some of the ingots or some of the people that she didn't know as well, but she would have tried to be there for as many as possible.
Gregory would have kept mostly away until it was Nyx's time, because he has stuff prepared. He was writing what he wanted to say all day.
I think Rendo actually would have been at every single one, just sitting in the back, just out of respect and to learn people's names who are gone.
Geist, who would, if he were still the person who was on the job, would have been seen at every single one of them. That's an important part of getting closer to the family. I think he's somewhat lost himself, and I think the mission has become getting this new sub-mission to be successful, so ensuring that there is no distraction, not leaving the body until it is the right time to ensure the swap has been done, and that means waiting until the very last minute to minimize the amount of time that there could be discovery of what he's done.
Perfect. So Rindo is at all of them, Nia is at some of them. Gregory is preparing and trying to, hype himself up while also being present with the loss that he's feeling, and Geist is just getting ready to slide in and do his new job. So let us hone in on the Temple of Tovere, an immaculate shrine to the Celestial Council, a beautiful, breathtaking sanctuary. Herbs and incense sweetly scent the chambers. Mere weeks ago, the bells rang out in jubilation, marking the matrimonial moment, the ringing shout that rings were exchanged, vows promised, a couple newlywed. But in the bleak midwinter today, the church bells thud in somber time, the heavy gongs trudging out a melancholy dirge. Father Lannery sits to the side in dark, black, drab vestments. He has been doing the rites for many of the other cobblers, but special arrangements have been made for Nyx, given her own religious persuasion. Dressed in black from head to toe, Nyx's friend Tony, the elf who did some recon work on Geist a few days, a week and a half ago at this point. Tony would take to the podium to read out Nyx's obituary. Nira Nyx Zilsis was born in 2788. She attended Lasef Primary School, where her teachers noted her as a shy, intelligent, and especially insightful student, particularly empathetic, good at reading people's emotions. When she left Lasef Primary School, Nira bounced around a few jobs before landing at Rhonda's Rendezvous, where she quickly established herself as a hard worker, determined to succeed. In her years at Rhonda's, her co-workers loved Nira for her empathy and her encouraging words. She was also quite the reader and spent many long hours in her room with her books. She is survived by her parents, Thuridin and Ava Zilsis. And as you can all tell that he is beginning to crack and was starting to about halfway through that, he quickly gets down from the podium and just leaves the sanctuary. Priestess Marussia Vine would then get up. Geist is familiar with this individual. He and Nyx spoke with Marussia on their trip to the priesthood of Pekash sometime earlier. She ascends to the central podium. She's wearing a black dress with green and gold ivy embroidery on the hem and the sleeves. Eternal Pekash and gracious Tovere, bless this time, she prays. Consecrate the memory of this dear woman. She looks out at the congregants that have gathered, and as she does so, there's a period of silence, and each of you would have observed the people that have gathered as well. I'll take a moment before Marussia continues to see if any of you have specific internal thoughts. Gregory, where's your head at? Where's your heart at?
He's just in disbelief. He can't believe this is where he is right now in this moment and everything that's happened, when just a few short weeks ago he was in the same temple in the back sitting with Nyx, watching Nia get married.
Yeah. It's just 3-ish weeks ago. Nia.
I think in all of this, especially since she had been here earlier today, you'd think that she might be a little numb to the whole situation. I think that she has tried to really, really give herself permission to really let herself grieve in this moment. because she really did care a lot about Nyx in a way that she had never really cared about any other woman, certainly. And through that kind of wave of grief, the detail from Tony of Lesef and her parents' names keep... Why does that sound so familiar? She wasn't at Lesef. I would have seen her at Lesef, wouldn't I? Why are their names so familiar? Would just be in the back of her head.
Yeah. Before moving to Rindo, just a note on that. 2 individuals that you can only assume are Ava and Thuridin Zilsis are sitting in the front row, directly ahead of you, Nia. Gregory is sitting directly in front of you, and then to his side are Nyx's parents. Tristan is next to Gregory as well.
I think, if I'm being perfectly honest, she's seen so many people. She does recognize Gregory's in front of her, and obviously Tristan, but like everybody else is just like a face. She doesn't even put the 2 and 2 together.
How is Rindo? Or what is Rindo experiencing?
Rendo is experiencing a lot that he doesn't have names for. He has been sitting through several of these throughout the day for a lot of people that, if anything, he'd maybe spoken 1 or 2 words to once. And now this is for someone that he was really enjoying getting to know and looking forward to getting to know more. And he's never been to a funeral before, so it's a new experience all on its own. And then to have it be so close and so personal is just... He's really quiet right now.
And then next to Rindo in the pew, Geist.
Geist can't wait for this to be over. Not because he's feeling guilt or remorse. The quicker the service is over, the quicker he can move forward with the next part of the plan and ensuring that this domino has fallen into place. There has recently been a reconstituting of the veil around his thoughts, his feelings, his emotions. Whether or not he's willing to open up and process this right now, what has happened is over the past 3 to 4 weeks, individuals have continually invited him to listen, to ask for help, to be patient, to stop doing things alone. And it has been death after death after death. That's not working. So it's time to go back to the tried and true method. And that means going back inside, curling up a little bit, and not worrying so much about the feelings, but just focusing on the next job. Just like we started just a couple of weeks ago, trying to ingratiate myself with the cobblers.
Yeah. Each in your own unique way. 3 of you are very, very deeply within yourselves. Even so, I think all of you deeply feel something penetrate as Mauricia leads the assembled attendants in a short hymn from one of the Archfey conclaves, or from the tradition of one of the Archfey conclaves. It is airy and light. It's fleeting like life. It draws your very spirit out from the pit of your stomach and makes it soar, but it also makes it crack. There's a yearning and a mourning that the words of the hymn hint at, but cannot explore so fully as the melody itself. And then she'll return to her spot in the pew. And Gregory, it'll be your turn in the program to rise and give your own thoughts, your own memories with Nyx. Now, as you do, as you stand up, as you pass the shroud, the body in the shroud that you know is not Nyx, and as you turn and face the congregants that have gathered for this moment, I think it would strike you just how many people there are here that you recognize in some small way. Obviously, Ava and Thuridin each deeply resemble Nyx in their own way. You can see her in both of their faces. Thuridin has the same dark black skin. Ava has the same kindly but insecure expression on her face. Behind them you see, of course, your friends Nia, Geist, and Rindo. Behind them, you would see Hosea Long sitting next to Stephen and former President Orobiefo. And behind the former president, you would see a lot of people that you know from Rondas. You would see Rocky and Ruby. You'd see Chastity, who you know didn't always get along with Nyx, but that didn't mean that they were, like, enemies by any stretch. And of course, Madame Diane herself and Lorem Borum, the bouncer. The Trubies and members of the Ingots are seated nearby as well, along with a couple people that you don't recognize. a trollkin in their mid-30s and a very elderly Kedek Fiendblood.
Yeah, Gregory makes his way up to the podium. He's wearing a black trench coat. It goes all the way to the ground. You hear his shoes on the tiles as he makes his way up there. Takes out his notebook. Are you going to tip or what? I was just finishing a long week at the Red Line Press, and my sister Tristan was wrapping up the first week at a new job when I met Nix. I stopped in to ask Tristan how it was going. She served me a drink and was attending to other customers when behind me I hear, are you going to tip or what? Of course I was going to tip. I hadn't even gotten my wallet out, and Nix didn't know Tristan was my sister. But after that moment, we became fast friends. We talked about our dreams, leaving Dirge, gossip at Rhonda's, what new book she was loving, what new book she was hating, everything and nothing at the same time. Past many hours in the libraries across Dirge. I can only imagine how many wine stains are left on the tables, chairs, and unfortunate books after nights we spent with our noses deep in research for a story for me, or dissecting lines in whatever book she was reading, or just looking up people with funny names and seeing who'd find the weirdest one. One of the ones she really liked was, fittingly, a woman named Mrs. Paige Turner. Ever mysterious, yet surprisingly friendly, Nix was able to make anyone comfortable and dive into a deep conversation like you were a longtime friend, even if you had just met. I know it's sappy to say, but she really lit up every room she was in, despite having the complexion that's darker than the midnight hour. If you were lucky enough to know her, as all of us were, you know the sensation she brought from just being around. When so many things were dark, she always managed to make them light. Nix wore many masks and seemingly lived many lives. She was an enigmatic person, always thinking 6 steps ahead with a tough shell, but at the end of the day, I, as well as all of us, were better having known her. Nix, Nira, you're my confidant, my sounding board, my shoulder to cry on, my cheerleader, my research buddy, but most importantly, you're my best friend. And no matter how many times you tell me to stop embarrassing myself, I'll always find time to dance. Gregory takes a step out from the podium. He opens up his trench coat to reveal red dancing shoes.
Gregory, as you make your way back down, in your red dancing shoes, Marushia Vine would stand and say, at this time, as we believe Nira would have wanted, she is to be laid to rest in the gardens of Pekash at the priesthood over the river. So we will have a processional there, and her parents and I will each say a few words at her graveside. As you all shuffle your way out of the Temple of Tovere, Rindo, you would feel some kind of, I'm going to describe it as a residue, but it's not a physical thing. You feel something sticky on your consciousness as you're leaving the temple. And could I have you roll 1d2?
Mm-hmm. A 1.
Perfect. So remind me the name of this feature.
It is called Unholy Rites.
So when you're in a place of formal worship, you're able to take a little bit of the vestige of power with you as you leave. Now, you and I have spoken, and this is not necessarily a conscious decision from Rindo at this point. He's not really sure what's happening. This probably is the first time it's happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
But as you leave the Temple of Tovere, you gain the nurturance ability, a sliver of the power of cultivation from the goddess Tovere, which you can use once in the next day.
Okay.
I think that having not experienced this before, and just the resonance that it has on your soul, it's very likely, Rindo, that you would not think this unique to the building or even to Tovere herself, but you might think this unique to Nyx.
Oh, okay. I wasn't gonna cry yet, but that kind of got me.
A processional is waiting for you all outside of the Temple of Tovere. A processional of horse-drawn carriages. And not everyone from the formal funeral is going to go to the graveside. You know, it's always a slightly smaller and more intimate crowd that makes their way over there. So 3 horse-drawn carriages in succession are enough to take the core group to the priesthood of Pekash. You would all disembark from these carriages and see a beautiful garden, a little slice of nature in the middle of the city. And yes, there's still smog in the air and everything, but there's so much life here. There are so many trees here that are engaging in nature that the air feels cleaner, smells cleaner. You see not only a couple trash griffins, but you see squirrels. You see normal pigeons and cardinals and blue jays. You see normal animals enjoying this slice of heaven in the middle of a soot-ridden city. There are scores of trees in various sizes. They all appear to be some kind of variation on oak, some sort of subspecies of oak, even if each one is slightly different in its own composition. But you can tell easily that there are some that have been here for hundreds of years. They're very, very large around. It would take multiple people to encircle them, while others are much, much younger. You make your way through this forest, even though you can still hear the obnoxious horns of the cars rumbling on the streets in the distance. There's an air about this place. You hear the chittering of squirrels and the chirping of birds. It feels innocent in a way that much of the city does not. Most of the city does not. You would all file up to a fresh, open grave, and Mauricia would direct the pallbearers, which I believe would probably be a few cobblers and ingots that have been doing this for most of the day, to gently lower the shroud into the earth, and then they would shuffle away, make their way back to the Temple of Tovere. Besides the four of you, Tristan, of course, is still here. Thuridin and Ava are still here. Pete, Annabelle, and Dural. Lorem Borum, a little bit further back, Bill and Stacy are bearing witness to this as well. Rolanor, who I think only Guy slightly knows who is, but this would be the elderly Kedek Fiendblood that's been hanging around. And a few of you would glimpse Tony down far away, just smoking a cigarette in the shade of a tree, just watching from a distance. Thuridin would look around at each of you. Thank you all for joining us. Seeing so many people turn out for our daughter, it means the world. Thank you. Ava puts her hand on Thuridin's arm, and it seems that stabilizes him a little bit. Nix's favorite story growing up was The Ugly Griffin. You all know the story, I'm sure. There's a litter of trash griffins that is born. One of them looks different. It has a fuzzy tail instead of a rat's tail. It's the wrong color, its head is the wrong shape, and it's picked on and ostracized by the other griffins. But it just turns out that it was a splendor griffin, not a trash griffin. It just needed to see its own beauty, even if its beauty was different from what everyone expected. We spoke with Nira about a week ago, and it sounded as though for the first time in her life, she was starting to see her own beauty. He looks over to Mauricia and nods. Mauricia will step forward. The teachings of Pekash encourage us to live in daily communion with legacy. The teachings of Tovere, of course, are much in line with this. Both Toverian doctrine and Pekashi doctrine rely quite heavily on the metaphor of seeds. In both traditions, the imagery of the seed represents the legacy of a life. When we lay our dead to rest, they do not see the trees that grow from the seeds they planted, but the world is a better place for their actions. Nira visited the priesthood of Pekash almost every week. She never came to the more organized services, probably preferring to stay quiet and hidden, to plant her own seed in silence. But look around this garden. Look at everyone here. For a girl who tried to hide from everyone, there certainly were a lot of people that saw her. Now, in keeping with Pekashi tradition, we bury Nira's body and a seed alongside it. We cannot deny that death is an ugly affair. Over the coming days and weeks, Nira's mortal body will decompose. But death begets new life. Nira's body will feed this seed, and the tree that grows here will stand as a living testament to the beauty of her life. She will bend down, place the seed next to the completely enshrouded body, and then step back, allowing Ava and Thuridin to throw the first clods of dirt to cover the hole. There, of course, was no casket, given the whole imagery and metaphor that, or I suppose it's a real thing, not a metaphor, but the statement that Mauricia is making about this. So anyone who wishes can participate in this before the gravediggers come and expedite the affair. Each of you, please take any last moment or last statement that you want to. as Nyx's parents begin this process.
Gregory gives Geist just a silent, knowing glance, with his eyes trying to say, like, okay, so everything's working right? We're not here for no reason. He's like moving his head.
Geist walks up, grabs a little bit of dirt, and tosses the dirt onto Crow's body.
Gregory will follow, do the same.
Rendo will as well, and he'll look at Nyx's parents. She was wonderful.
Thank you, dear. Ava has been silent this whole time. It looks like she's supporting Thuridin, but that she herself is not going to attempt vocalizing right now.
I think Nia would follow, and as she dropped her clod looking down, just think to herself, she was my first friend. And then as she looked up, would make eye contact with her mother, and it would all click. And she would just start to bawl very quietly and walk back.
In this garden, we leave our party for now. We leave them wondering what may grow from these seeds, what good may spring from such a tragedy. We leave our party in this garden, a garden in the pulsing heart of a shining city gilded with glitz and glamorous nightlife, like perfume masking a stench. A city of frantic hedonism that draws one's eye away from the dark and bloody alleys. We leave our party in the capital of Felth, a city of filth and of faith, a city of corruption and of compromise, a city where laws protect the lawless, where connections are everything, where guns punctuate the terms and conditions, and where currency is led. We leave our party in Dirge. This concludes Chapter 1 of The Ties That Bind. Jump into our Discord, discord.gg/mythcraft, to discuss this episode. And until next time, keep crafting those myths.